ಹರೀಶ್. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ನಾರಾಯಣಂ ನಮಸ್ಕೃತ್ಯಂ ನರಂ ಚೈವ ನರೋತ್ತಮಂ ದೇವೀಂ ಸರಸ್ವತೀಂ ವ್ಯಾಸಂ ತದೋ ಜಯಮುದಿರಿಯೇ. ನಷ್ಟಪ್ರಾಯೇಷು ಅಭದ್ರೇಷು ನಿತ್ಯಂ ಭಾಗವತ ಸೇವಯಾ ಭವತೆ ಉತ್ತಮ ಶ್ಲೋಕೆ ಭಕ್ತಿರ್ಭವತಿ ನೈಷ್ಠಿಕೇ. ಮುಖಂ ಕರೋತಿ ವಾಚಾಲಾಂ ಅಂಗುಂ ಲಂಘಯತೆ ಗಿರಿಂ ಯತ್ಕೃಪಾತಂ ವಂದೇ ಶ್ರೀಗುರುಂ ದೀನತಾರಿಣಂ ಪರಮಾನಂದ ಮಾಧವ ಶ್ರೀ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ಈಶ್ವರಂ. ಕೃಷ್ಣಾಯ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ ದೇವಕೀ ನಂದನಾಯ ಚ ನಂದಗೋಪಕುಮಾರಾಯ ಗೋವಿಂದಾಯ ನಮೋ ನಮಃ. ವಸುದೇವಸುತಂ ದೇವಂ ಕಂಸಚಾನೂರಮರ್ಜನಂ ದೇವಕೀ ಪರಮಾನಂದಂ ಕೃಷ್ಣಂ ವಂದೇ ಜಗದ್ಗುರು. ನಮೋ ಪಂಕಜನಾಭಾಯ ನಮೋ ಪಂಕಜಮಾಲಿನೇ ನಮೋ ಪಂಕಜನೇತ್ರಾಯ ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಪಂಕಜಾಂಗ್ರಿಯೇ. ನಾಮಚಿಂತಾಮಣಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಚೈತನ್ಯ ರಸ ವಿಗ್ರಹ ಪೂರ್ಣಶುದ್ಧೋ ನಿತ್ಯಮುಕ್ತೋ ಅಭಿನ್ನತ್ವಂ ನಾಮ ನಾಮಿನೇ. ಹೃದಯೇ ಧ್ಯಾಯತೋ ವಿಷ್ಣುಂ ತ್ರೇತಾಯಾಂ ಯಜತೋ ಮಕೈ ದ್ವಾಪರೇ ಪರಿಚರ್ಯಾಯಾಂ ಕಲಿತತ್ ಸಂಕೀರ್ತನಂ. ಹರೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಶ್ರೀಮದ್ ಭಾಗವತಂ Canto 1 Chapter 15 Verse number 34. ಯಯಾ ಹರದ್ಭೋ ವರಂ तं तानुं विजहौ भजः कान्तकं कन्तकेनेव द्वयं च पीसितु शमम्. प्रभुजी यया हरद्भो भारं तां तनुं विजहावजः कण्टकं कण्टकेनेव द्वयं चापीक्षितु समम्. यया हरद्भो भारं तां तनुं विजहावजः कण्टकं कण्टकेनेव द्वयं चापीक्षितु समम्. यया हरद्भो भारं तां तनुं विजहावजः कण्टकं कण्टकेनेव द्वयं चापीक्षितु समम्.
यया हरद्भुवो भारं तां तनुं बीजहावजः कण्टकं कण्टकेनेव द्वयं चापीषितुः समम्.
यया हरद्भुवो भारं
तां तनुं
विजहावजः
तां तनुं कण्टकं कण्टकेनेव वयं चापि शितुः समम्
Mataji's
यया हरद्भुवो भारं तां तनुं विजहावज कण्टकं कण्टकेनेव वयं चापि सितुः समम्
यया हरद्भुवो भारं तां तनुं विजहावजः कण्टकं कण्टकेनेव वयं चापि सितुः समम् यया हरद्भुवो भारं तां तनुं विजहावजः कण्टकं कण्टकेनेव वयं चापि सितुः समम् यया हरद्भुवो भारं तां तनुं विजहावजः कण्टकं कण्टकेनेव वयं चापि सितुः समम्
Yaya,
Yaya,
that by which
that by which
Harat
Harat
took away
took away
Bhuvaha
Bhuvaha
of the world,
of the world,
Bharam,
Bharam,
burden,
burden,
Tam,
Tam,
that
that,
Tanum,
Tanum,
body,
body,
Vijaha,
Vijaha,
relinquished,
relinquished,
Rajaha,
Rajaha,
the unborn,
unborn,
Kantakam,
Kantakam,
Thrawn,
God,
Kantakena,
Kantakena,
by the throne,
by the throne,
Iva,
Iva,
like that,
like that,
Dvayam,
Dvaya,
both,
both,
Cha,
Cha,
also,
also,
Api,
Api,
although,
although,
Ishitu,
Ishitu,
controlling,
Controlling,
Samam,
Samam,
equal.
equal,
Translation purport given by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai,
The Supreme Unborn Lord Sri Krishna caused the members of the Yadu dynasty to relinquish their bodies, and thus he relieved the burden of the world. This action was like picking out a thorn with a thorn, though both are the same to the controller. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur suggests that the rishis like Saunaka and others who were hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Sudha Goswami at Naimisharanya were not happy to hear about the Yadus dying in the madness of intoxication. To give them relief from this mental agony, Sudha Goswami assured them that the Lord caused the members of the Yadu dynasty to relinquish their bodies, by which they had to take away the burden of the world. The Lord and His eternal associates appeared on earth to help the administrative demigods in eradicating the burden of the world. He therefore called for some of the confidential demigods to appear in the Yadu family and serve him in his great mission. After the mission was fulfilled, the demigods, by the will of the Lord, relinquished their corporeal bodies by fighting among themselves in the madness of intoxication. The demigods are accustomed to drinking the somarasa beverage, and therefore the drinking of wine and intoxication are not unknown to them. Sometimes they were put into trouble for indulging in intoxication. Once the sons of Kuvera fell in the wrath of Narada for being intoxicated, but afterwards they regained their virginal forms by the grace of Lord Sri Krishna. We shall find this story in the 10th canto for the Supreme Lord. Both the Asuras and the demigods are equal, but the demigods are obedient to the Lord, whereas the Asuras are not. Therefore, the example of picking out a thorn by another thorn is quite befitting. One thorn which causes pinpricks on the leg of the Lord is certainly disturbing to the Lord, and the other thorn, which takes out the disturbing elements, certainly gives service to the Lord. So, although every living being is a part and parcel of the Lord, still one who is pinpricked to the Lord is called an Asura, and one who is voluntary servant of the Lord is called a Devata or a demigod. In the material world, the Devatas and Asuras are always contending, and the Devatas are always saved from the hands of Asuras by the Lord. Both of them are under the control of the Lord. The world is full of two kinds of living beings, and the Lord's mission is always to protect the Devatas and destroy the Asuras whenever there is such a need in the world, and to do good to both of them. Om Gnanatimirandasya Gnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamanam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raghunatham Nidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parina Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsa He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarabhyasa Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. We would like to seek the blessings of all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Hare Krishna. So welcome to the Bhagavatam session for everyone. So this is a text, the chapter, name of the chapter is Pandavas retired timely. This particular verse is very important, it's very essential for our spiritual life. Here in this verse, Lord Krishna, when he wants to display some, to do some pastimes, he brings some confidential devatas to this material world. So during that time, when the Edu dynasty led by Samba, the son of Krishna, they gathered together at the place called Pindaraka near Dwaraka. So when they gathered there, this Edu dynasty people were very strong and nobody is dared to fight with them. They are so courageous and very powerful. So since all these Samba and their teammates were gathered in the place called Pindaraka, they just want to play a prank with the saintly persons like Durvasa Muni, Narada and other sages. They were performing some yajna. During that time, they all gathered and they dressed Samba into a pregnant women and they brought before the sages when they were fully conscious of performing yajnas. During that time, that they were asking the sages, they were just playing a prank, whether this particular woman is going to give birth to a male or a female child. That time, the sages were Trikalagnas, they know the present, past and future. So they very much know that these people are playing a prank with us. So Durvasa Muni got angry. As we all know that Durvasa Muni immediately gets anger, is very short-tempered. He immediately curses also and he immediately gives the blessings also. That's the great speciality of Durvasa Muni. So he immediately cursed. He saw it in Divyagnan and saw these fellows are playing a prank with us. They are misbehaving with us and they are disrespectful to us. This is a word, disrespectful, is very, very, very essential to our spiritual life. As we see in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's 8 golden points are there. Among that, the third one is Trunadapi Sunisena Tarorahi Saishnana Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that one who has these 3 qualities, definitely they can always remember Krishna. This one particular sloka which also leads us to this kingdom of Supreme Personality of Godhead. We think it's a very simple and we show a lot of, we don't show a lot of this thing for importance for this particular sloka. I heard on Laksha from Maharaj that if any practitioner or sadhaka follows this particular sloka in Shikshastakam, third one, and he really applies in his life, definitely his seat will be booked in the Goloka Vrindavan. This particular sloka, that's what Maharaj was confirming this. It's a very important sloka. To chant the sloka is very easy, but to apply in our life it's very, very difficult. To be humble, we sometimes will be humble till we are in this temple, we'll be very humble, very benevolent, very kind to the devotees. Soon after we leave the place, there was one lecture was going on in Chowpatty, and the topic was to be more humble. That was the topic. So when there was a new devotee, neophyte was hearing the lectures, he was very much interested and he was fully absorbed in that lecture. So after the class is over, when he went to the shoe rack, he saw that his chappals were missing. Immediately he got angry. How careless these devotees are. They don't even know how to take care of these chappals of the visitors who come to the temple. Immediately he got angry. So one of us, he heard the class, but there was nothing productive to him. He just heard and just left it there itself. So the thing here is, it should be the respectful in relation to the persons. We can see in Bhagavatam, there are so many examples, like Samba, how he was disrespectful to the sages, and he was misbehaving with the saintly persons. It's a great offense with the devotees and with the saintly persons when we misbehave. So even in Bhagavatam we can see that Indra, when he received Durvasa Muni in his kingdom, Durvasa Muni was very pleasant to see Indra and Airavat. So when he see an Airavat, he was so happy that he gave his garland. So garland means saintly persons, garland means it is a prasad, it is called Mahaprasad, prasad garland. So many different prasads are there in our Vaishnava culture. So he immediately gave this prasad garland to Indra, the king of heavenly planets. So he took it with a great pride, false pride. He gave it to his Airavat and to the elephant. So elephant, as we know, it is an animal. The behavior of animal, what it will be. So it threw it on the floor and just stamped it. Durvasa Muni got very angry. Immediately he got cursed. Whatever the powers you got, you will lose everything. Not only Indra, the whole team of demigods they lost all the powers. And they lost the heavenly planet. And ultimately they were homeless. And the Asuras, they won in the victory and they captured the heavenly planet. It is very difficult to capture the heavenly planet. So by being disrespectful to the saintly persons and devotees, we lose everything in our spiritual life. So Indra was in such a false pride that he doesn't want to even value or serve the saintly persons. So he lost everything. Similarly, in Ramayana also we can see, in that time it was there, the being disrespectful to others. When the same Durvasa Muni, he was a king that time before becoming a sage. I think his name is Kaushika if I am not wrong. So he was hunting in the forest. As a Kshatriya, they have the quality of hunting always. To become a powerful or it will be very helpful for the Kshatriyas during the war time. So this particular king, when he was wandering the forest, he felt thirsty and he saw one hermitage there. So he just went inside and he asked the sage, I think Vasishtha Muni, I think. So he was in need of water. So Vasishtha Muni immediately he welcomed everyone, and he not only provided water, but he gave a lot of paniyas, drinks he gave, and he gave a lot of Rajabhoga to all the persons who accompanied Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni got astonished. My God, in this small hermitage, so much response, so much hospitalities. How come as a king I am not able to provide all these things? But how come this particular sage in a small hermitage? My God, my goodness, lot of things made out of ghee and lot of paniyas, banana shakes, strawberry shakes, so many shakes. He was providing everything. They just asked only water, but he's providing all different types of eatables, different types of drinks, everything. And Durva and this particular king,
Vishwamitra.
yeah, exactly, sorry. Vishwamitra, yeah. So Vishwamitra got really, somehow he wants to know how he got all these things. So then he asked the saintly person, Vasishtha Muni, no? Yeah. So Vasishtha Muni, Vishwamitra started glorifying Vasishtha Muni. How come he was asking Vasishtha Muni, how come you got all these things in this small hermitage? I want to know very curiously. Then Vasishtha Muni told, thank you for glorifying me for this small service, but I have my Kamadhenu with me, which provides me everything. It's a desire fulfilling cow, it is called. So Kamadhenu provides me everything. So then he was meditating on that Kamadhenu. Vishwamitra was meditating on Kamadhenu. Somehow or other I should get it. Desperately I want to get that Kamadhenu. See the mentality of the persons, how it will be. So the commodity mentality and the spiritual mentality, we have to distinguish here. So very, very important in our spiritual life. So when Vishwamitra got this mentality, he started bargaining with Vasishtha Muni, saying that, my dear saintly person, I want to somehow get this Kamadhenu. So tell me what is your price? He has put a price tag for that. Shall I give 1 lakh cows for you? He said. Then Vasishtha Muni was just simply keeping quiet. And then Vishwamitra thought that this price was not enough for him. So I should increase my bargaining. I should increase again my bargaining capacity. Then he said, I shall give you 800 gold chariots. Then there was no response. Then he thought I should increase some more. So then he told 14,000 horses I will give. No response for that. And then again he told, I will give you 10 lakhs cows. All these things I am going to give you for this. Just please hand over that Kamadhenu for me. Then Vasishtha Muni told very humbly, with lot of humility, he said, my dear king, this Kamadhenu I have not kept for buying or selling. This is my mother. This is not just a cow, this is my mother. No fool will sell the mother for the price. As you know very, very well, as a king. So I have not kept this for price, my dear king, please don't have that desire to have this Kamadhenu. Durvasa Muni got angry. And the saintly person, Vasishtha Muni said, this mother, Kamadhenu, is supplying all that I need for my yajna and homa. It's supplying ghee, it's supplying milk and everything. And I am not seeing that Kamadhenu as a commodity which gives production for me, which is productive for me. No, not that. In that mood I am not keeping this Kamadhenu. For my spiritual advancement and for my spiritual supplement, I am just keeping this. This is not a commodity, this is my mother who supplies everything to me. As a mother, to the child she gives all the supplements. But in the modern society, we can see in the modern world, the children after they were grown in a very topmost position, they try to buy everything whatever the mother gives the services, saying that you have done all those things to me in your 25 years. What is your price? Let me quit I want you to quit this home. Please go out. You tell me the price. That's the present condition in our life, especially in cities. Nobody is there to take care of father and mother. Everybody will fly off to the overseas. Husband also will go, wife also will go, and nobody wants to stay here because they want to take care of their father and mother. Nobody will be there, no shelter for them. In the olden days, there was no house for the old people. It is now recently it has come, I think, from past 30 to 45 years. There was no such concept at all for the old people, home for the old people. There is no concept at all. So now, why? Because they are showing disrespect to the father and mother. This concept of disrespect will ruin our life like anything. The same thing will repeat. Our children will repeat the same thing to us. When we grow old, the children will also tell the same thing. What is your price? You tell me, just quit the place. So that is a thing we have to learn from this particular verse, showing disrespect to the saintly persons and others. So like this, Vishwamitra, he waged a war against Vasishtha Muni, and ultimately he lost the battle. So there we can see the truth always wins, the spirituality wins, the success wins, the right attitude towards others will always have the victory. Similarly, we can see the example in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's period also. There was one Acharya called Srinivasa Acharya. When he finished all his Gurukul education, his parents wants to go and have darshan of Jagannath Puri, and also to take blessings of all the Vaishnavas. That was the culture in those days. Parents used to teach to the children. Not that you just pass your pre-college, I'll get you bike. You pass your college education, you get first mark, you get you be a topper, I'll get you a car. Again, you get a good job, I'll get you a very good girl. This is not the mentality, this is not the respect they taught to the children. The respect they taught the children to go and get the blessings of the Vaishnavas. So Srinivasa Acharya went to Jagannath Puri. There he had the darshan, and also the parents told, please have darshan of Jahnavi Mata, who is the wife of Nityananda Prabhu, the great Vaishnavi. So he then went to Jahnavi Mata and he took the blessings of her. And Jahnavi Mata, anyway you come so far from the place, go and get the blessings of Abhiram Thakur, who is a very great Vaishnava and devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he went to Abhiram Thakur and he paid all his humble obeisance to his lotus feet. And Abhiram Thakur, as soon as he saw the Srinivasa Acharya, he was very happy. He said, you go and take rest now, so refresh yourself and come tomorrow morning. Then maybe you are feeling very hungry, you cook something and offer to Gaur-Nitai and have your food, have your prasadam. Then he relieved from that place, he went there and he took a bath. He just cooked himself. He bought some groceries, everything. He cooked and he offered to Gaur-Nitai. When he was about to eat, when he was about to honor the prasadam, immediately 4 persons has come to his room saying that, my dear Prabhuji, we want some prasadam because we are very hungry. From so many days we have not taken a prasadam. Somehow or other we want to have some prasadam in your house. Immediately Srinivasa Acharya, he also he was feeling very hungry, and he had the plan of having a prasadam immediately, but as soon as they come, there was no word from the mouth of Srinivasa Acharya. Immediately they said, please do come. I was even expecting some Vaishnavas I wanted to serve some Vaishnavas. Thank God, Lord Gaur-Nitai has sent you. Please do come. And he brought them to this thing, and he put asan and he served them. So immediately the people of the Devo Vaishnavas, they were sent by Abhiram Thakur for the examination. So somehow or other Srinivasa Acharya, very fortunately, he got through in the examination. So he went and approached Abhiram Thakur. Abhiram Thakur said, you have successfully won my test. I just want to see your attitude. I want just to examine your attitude, how it should be, how your respect towards others I just want to have this thing. That's why I sent those 4 people, 4 Vaishnavas. Abhiram Thakur used to have one stick with him. It is called Jaya Mangala. Jaya means victory, Mangala means auspiciousness. The people in that particular place, they were longing to have that Mahaprasad. He used to beat the people who comes for the blessings. That means it is a form of a blessings. It's all we can see our Guru Maharaj is always having one stick with this to bless us. Just when I heard this, I thought of Guru Maharaj. See, Guru Maharaj is how merciful Guru Maharaj is. How he is showing respect to each and every Atma, every soul. We can see those qualities. How Prabhupada was having those qualities. The similar qualities all the disciples of our Prabhupada is having. Especially our Guru Maharaj is so merciful. Each and every soul is respected he respects each and every soul, our Guru Maharaj. So all the people in that particular place, they were getting blessings. He was hitting like this and they were as soon as the sparsha of that stick touches that particular soul, immediately the moment it touches that, they will get Krishna Prema. The moment, no these things at all, no duration at all for that. The moment they get touch from that stick, they will get a Krishna Prema. So Srinivasa Acharya also got that, and he was blessed by Abhiram Thakur. Abhiram Thakur is a very great Acharya. You must read that book, Abhiram Thakur, how he dedicated his life to the Vaishnavas to spread this Krishna consciousness. So like this you can see so many examples in Srimad Bhagavatam. In 4th canto also, Daksha Prajapati, when he performed a great yajna, Daksha yajna, when he entered into the assembly, everyone stood up. All the demigods, all the great personalities stood up as soon as they saw Daksha Prajapati. But only one person, he was kept quiet. He didn't give any respect to Daksha Prajapati. So Daksha Prajapati got angry. Prajapati means one who rules the prajas, but he himself lost that quality. So he got angry and he thought this particular person is not showing respect to me. So that is none other than Shiva, Lord Shiva. Shiva means very auspiciousness. The word, very meaning of Shiva is called auspiciousness. So Shiva doesn't want to deliberately do that, but he was totally immersed and absorbed in Krishna consciousness. He was meditating on Lord Ram. So he was not able to notice when his father-in-law Daksha came. So Daksha got angry, and ultimately the result was, as you know everything, as you know all these things about these pastimes, he got, instead of getting Godhead, he got a goat head. That was the result of a Vaishnava, that was the result of the offenses which we do or which we show respect to the others. So the respect in relation to others is very important. That's very essential in our spiritual life. That's what this particular text teaches us. And also here about the throne, he said with Srila Prabhupada that when we can experience in the agricultural field. When we pass through that field, sometimes we get the throne will be picked in our leg. So to remove that thorn, we have to take another thorn and to open that, and just we have to pluck it out. So here what Srila Prabhupada says is that one leg is pinpricked by particular group and another leg is served by, so they render service to me. That means one leg is pinpricked by the asuras and the other leg is served by the devotees. Devotees will serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But before the eyes of Supreme Personality of Godhead, everybody is equal. They are samam, chapi, shitu, samam. So, samasarveshu bhuteshu, Krishna says in Gita that everyone is equal to me, but the devotees are very special to me. They are very special to me because they are very obedient to me. They are obedient in following my instructions. They are obedient in carrying out my instructions. They are obedient in preaching out my message to each and every soul. and whereas the Asuras are disobedient. But both are equal. Why? Because Mamai Vamsa Jiva Jiva Bhute Sanatanaha. Everybody is my Amsha. So everybody is part and parcel of the Lord. But still, due to the bad association, like as we see the examples, so many examples, Indra, Samba, Vishwamitra, Daksha. So due to their bad association, due to their wrong attitude towards others, they will become a victim for this. So every living being is a part and parcel of the Lord. Still, one who is pinpricked to the Lord is called an Asura. As one who is voluntarily servant of the Lord is called a Devata. In the olden days, in the historical period, the kings used to bring a small girl from different places, and from the childhood they used to inject a poison for that particular girl, and they brought her in such a way that the whole body is injected with poison. So the king, when he wants to capture the other neighboring kingdoms, he used to send this particular girl so that they will get attracted to that beautiful girl. When they kisses that particular girl, immediately they will leave the body. So due to this, see the association of the non-devotees. You can read in from Upadeshamrita. Srila Rupa Goswami has explained very beautifully. Bunjate, some sloka is there, very beautiful sloka. In that, Srila Rupa Goswami focuses more on this association. He gives a lot of focus on this association. To be a very honest Grihastha, or to be a very Vaishnava Grihastha, one should avoid the association of a non-devotees. That's the only core factor. If we avoid one particular such thing, then we can advance even in our Krishna consciousness like anything. So very dangerous deterioration to our spiritual life. Bad association, very bad association is a hindrance to our spiritual life. So always try to be in the midst of the devotees. So why Krishna, why this Suta Goswami, the question raised by Saunaka and others, that they were not happy with this incident. So they were questioning Suta Goswami, my dear Vaishnava, how come this Yadu dynasty, within their family itself, they are getting killed by themselves? We are not happy with this. What is the reason for this? Then Suta Goswami, you can read in 11th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam. There it is explained very beautifully by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada that the reason is Krishna wants to go back to his Swadama, and also when he brought his confidential devotees, confidential devatas, he also wants to send them back to their particular respective places. So he wants to end this pastime. So to end this pastime, there should be some reason should be there. So he has created this particular reason, because nobody can kill Yadu family members. No one is dare enough to fight with them. They are all Parshadas for Krishnas. They are close associates of Krishna. So nobody can dare to kill them. Nobody has courage to kill them. So Krishna has made this plan to bring them back and send them to the respective particular places. That's why he made a plan, and Durvasamai, I think he has cursed that this particular Samba is going to deliver a golden iron club. This particular iron club is going to devastate the whole Yadu dynasty. And also I remember this Gandhari also will curse Krishna in one particular section of the Mahabharata, that your whole dynasty is going to devastate. Because Krishna wants to fulfill her desire also. Simultaneously, Krishna wants to take them back, everyone, all his confidential demigods. It's mentioned, confidential demigods. So that is the reason why they fought themselves and they killed themselves. So there should be some reason. So when Krishna displays his pastimes, there will be so many factors to be considered. There are so many factors to be considered. At one time, he will give pleasure to someone, he will give pain to someone. Paritranaya sadhanam vinasaya chaduskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Glanir bhavati bharata. When there is some disturbances or discrepancies in these religious activities, Krishna has to incarnate himself. Millennium to millennium, from yuga, every yuga he incarnates. So then he re-establishes the religious activities and he gives protection to the devotees. So there is no difference between us and Krishna, because Krishna has two hands, we also have 2 hands. Krishna has 2 legs, we also have 2 legs. Whatever Krishna has, we have everything. But Krishna gives, what is the difference? Krishna gives protection. Always Krishna gives protection. So Krishna is not an ordinary person like us. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why when we take the initiation, our Vaishnavas will, in the interview they ask, how you accept Krishna as the Supreme? What is the supremacy of Krishna? How much understanding you have that Krishna is Supreme? I have seen so many devotees after initiation also, still they are very scared to leave the demigods worship. Because one thing we have to respect the demigods. We can take the blessings of the demigods. But Krishna says in Gita simultaneously, Yanti Deva Vrata Deva Pitru Yanti Pitradaha Bhutani Yanti Bhutejya. Whomever you worship, you will go to that particular planet. If you worship Pitrus, you go to Pitraloka. If you worship Devatas, you go to Devatas. If you worship Bhutas, you will go to Bhutaloka. But if you worship me, you will come to me. In another verse also he says that Punarjanmana vidyate, if you come to me, you cannot come back to this material garbage. Prabhupada sometimes says it is very disastrous state. Actually, we are walking on the edge of the knife. We don't know when it is going to prick us. We can't say. Padam padam yadvi padam natesha in Shilam Bhagavatam says it. Every step is a danger for us as long as we don't take the shelter of the Vaishnavis and Vaishnavas. Every step, every moment is dangerous for us. So the the son of Krishna Samba, he himself had that disrespectful, because there was a reason for that. But it is a lesson for us. It is a very good teaching for us that we have to be very respectful to others. One student cannot claim that I am a topper, I need not give respect to others. I know everything. I can control everyone. They should give me respect. But Mahaprabhu says, Amanina manadena. No. You must first give respect. Don't expect respect from others. This particular quality, if we establish in our spiritual life, definitely 100% it is confirmed. Mahaprabhu says that you will definitely advance in Krishna consciousness. You can magnify so many bhakti vrikshas. You can magnify so many bhakti vrikshas. We can see in our center itself how Mataji is taking care of each and every soul. I am just watching every time. So much love has been shedded. So much energy she has been showing to our to increase our bhakti vrikshas. As we increase our bhakti vrikshas and preaching activities, we can advance our spiritual life in anything. And we will never forget what we have learned in our spiritual life. Never ever in our life we will never forget. As long as you are engaged in your preaching activities. So definitely the bad association will play a very dominant role in our spiritual life. As soon as we go out from this, we should bear in mind that I should always be in Krishna consciousness. That is the prayer we should offer from our Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis and to our Gaunitra. Anytime, all the time. One time Srila Prabhupada, when he was offering prayers, disciple of Prabhupada asked him, Prabhupada, you are also offering prayers. Yes, what prayer you are offering? I was offering the prayer that, please save me from the clutches of Maya. Somehow or other I should engage in Krishna's service. This was a prayer offering from Srila Prabhupada. Just imagine a great soul, Shakti Avesh Avataris, the special soul who has bombarded and bombed the Harinam into the entire world. He is praying this of us. So humble, such a humility Srila Prabhupada had. So that should be our prayer. That should be our motive. That should be our goal. Always take the shelter of Vaishnavas. Always be in the midst of devotees. Always carry out our instructions, what our spiritual master has said. Then we can be respectful to others. And also teach our children. Give them the culture that to respect others. Don't tell them, I'll get you bike, I'll get you car, I'll get you iPad, all those things. Come to our Bhagavatam pad. Teach this culture. We have to teach this culture to our children. Give them prasadam always give them prasadam. Bring them to the temples. Tell them to engage in devotee association. Because a doctor cannot teach his son, doctor cannot preach his own son. He has to give treatment and he has to take his son to the other doctors. Because the son knows his weakness and the doctor also knows his son's weakness. So when we cannot preach to our children, we can tell others to preach them. That's a technique. That's what I heard from our senior Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna. Any questions, any comments? Thank you for bearing me. Hare Krishna. Yes, yes. Mike.
Rama, it says Durvasa Muni having done so much tapasya.
No?
Hello?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Yeah, Durvasa Muni having done so much of tapasya and having reached, and he might have seen directly God also. Still, Durvasa Muni, we are nothing, we are zero. Durvasa Muni still can't control his anger. What is the reason that such level of, even Naradji, he got angry when Lord showed him the Maya and he could not get married with that beautiful princess. And when he saw his face in the pond, he found that I'm monkey and he cursed Lord. So it is just a Leela, they are part of the Leela and they also do this cursing and all that and get angry. Is their anger part of the Leela or
Leela, what is it?
Leela?
Leela, yeah.
Krishna's Leela, or these people, they can't control themselves. What is the reason?
Very, very good question. See, these are all the pastimes of Krishna, and also they are teaching, they are keeping them as instruments. See, in Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna he was not bewildered actually. The whole first chapter, he puts forth all his questions, saying that all these persons are my relatives, my Pitamaha, and he is my Guru, Dronacharya. All these are my relatives and my cousins. I don't want to kill them. If I kill them, I will go to hellish planet. If I kill them, I'm not going to enjoy because no one will be there with whom I am going to enjoy. So Arjuna put forth all these questions. Here we have to understand that Krishna uses his devotees as an instrument to make his Leela successful. Like Durvasa Muni is not an ordinary person like us, and Narada Muni is a very great saintly person. You must read first canto Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th chapter, how he was giving instructions to Vyasa Maharshi, Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva is nothing but the incarnation of Krishna himself, literary incarnator. He is instructing Vyasadeva. So Narada Muni is not such an ordinary person. He is a Triloka Sanchari. Wherever he goes, he delivers the conditioned souls. But Krishna puts them in particular condition, that in particular to teach us. See, like great people like Narada Muni, Bhishma and Vishwamitra, Durvasa Muni, they themselves having so much tapasya and austerity and divinity, still they are getting angry. But what about our condition? What about our condition? So he wants to
utilize, or he wants to keep these devotees as an instrument to teach us a lesson. So then we can understand that. So these particular great personalities like Narada Muni and Bhishmadev. Bhishmadev was in Adharma side. So Krishna wants to teach us, even though if you are a devotee, if you are an exalted devotee, if you are a topmost devotee, if you are a great Vaishnava, if you are in a side of Adharma, you have to take this punishment. And one more thing, there are so many factors like this, not only one factor. And he wants to show that Bhishma should teach all the dharmas to the Pandavas. That is why, and when he was in the arrow bed, he brought all the Pandavas. So Bhishma started instructing about all types of dharmas, Shri Dharma, Purusha Dharma, and Grahastha Dharma, and political Dharma. All these things he was instructing. So there are so many factors to be considered when Krishna's pastimes happens. Whenever Krishna comes, he will not come alone. All his associates will come. Srimati Radharani comes, and all his devatas comes, and all his associates comes. All the team, the whole team will comes. So whenever Krishna means, he is with all his associates. So in Dwapara he brought all the devatas. He brought some Vaishnavis. They become wives to the Krishnas. Like this, he brings everyone into these things. Even Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, they are not enemies. It's only a pastime. They were Jai Vijayas. So they want to come back to the Vaikuntha planet to serve Krishna. That is why they took that particular option to become a demons. And one more thing, to fight with Krishna, not an ordinary person can fight. A great personality, a great devotee can only fight with. That is called Virya Rasa, it is called. So whenever he wants to have a pleasure with devotees, he will bring some devotees like Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, Jai Vijaya. Then he will fight with them. When father wants to have a fun with the son, he brings the son and he do all sorts of fun with father. Like that, the father brings, the Krishna brings all these devotees to have his Virya Rasa. There are different rasas with Krishna. So he brought all these devotees. Makes sense, I think. Correction.
Prabhu, this last time with the Surabhi cow, that happened with Vishwamitra Muni or Durvasa?
Vishwamitra.
You kept mentioning Durvasa.
Yeah, Mataji corrected me. By mistake. Sorry, Prabhu.
Another thing is Durvasa Muni is an incarnation of Shiva.
Shiva, yes, Prabhu. Yes,
So
Prabhu.
naturally he will disband.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
transcendental.
that's the nature, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Transcendental.
Transcendental.
And whenever he displays anger, it always turns out for the good.
Good, yeah.
But that was a very nice class, especially about how we need to have humility and learning this thing.
Okay.
But often what happens is we hear the class and we think it's for others.
Yeah.
And then we start thinking, see, this person is not humble, that person is not humble. We don't apply for others, we have
Correct,
to apply
exactly.
for ourselves.
Yes, ourselves. Charity comes from home first.
Yes. I mean, it's meant for us, otherwise we'll see outside and not inside.
Not inside. Yes, exactly. Okay, any other questions? Any comments? ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्री श्री गौनिताय की लक्ष्मी नरसिंह देव भगवान की जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र मैया की श्रील प्रभुपाद की श्रील गुरुदेव की निताय सीतानाथ गौर प्रेमानंदे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.